like it worked well for a while. Like a lot of people who play rock music or any type of music probably get that it works for a while.
Yeah.
It's fun, and you're like, that's what like people think of as the dream. You know, like partying, playing music.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it gets pretty rough.
Music helps us get through the hardships and heartbreaks of life. The songs come from artists who bare their souls and share their pain. Their music proves we're not alone. They felt just like you, and they dug deep and kept going. I'm Ethan Johnson, and this is Rockin' the Hard Place. Hey there, welcome. This is the first episode of Rockin' the Hard Place. And today we're with Grant Mullen from Seattle's own Naked Giant.
So it's me, Grant, and then Henry and Gianni.
Yeah.
The other guys. So Henry's the drummer, and then Gianni is the bass player, and we all write songs. So we're a pretty egalitarian band in that respect.
Yeah.
There's no true leader.
Backward a little bit. You're from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you met Henry first, right? How'd you guys meet?
Yeah, I don't remember like the first time we met, but we were like probably 3. I think we were we were in preschool together.
Yeah.
So I've known Henry since we were 3 or 4.
Yeah.
When we both started playing music, we kind of saw each other at a holiday party, and he was a drummer and I was a drummer at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We were probably like 11
yeah.
or 12. And I remember feeling a little bit of, competition with him.
I read that somewhere that you maybe I saw it in some other video that you were both drummers. So
Yeah.
How did it come out that you're going to just switch to guitar?
I think like at that time, I wanted to play drums. This is something I don't hear people around like my age talk about as much, but like Guitar Hero and Rock Band had come out. And I think my theory is that a lot of musicians who are now like 25 to 35 or something, like were partially inspired by those games, which I think people don't like to talk about it. People are like, no, I couldn't. But honestly, like I played Rock Band drums, and coordination wise they're pretty similar. Like you're learning the same patterns, and you can already then play like a kick and snare pattern. And so I think I got pretty good. I was a kind of a gamer kid,
I
got pretty good at those games, and I was like, I want to play real drums. So I taught myself that, and then at a certain point switching to guitar. There was a certain time in my life where I just picked it up and started listening to Hendrix, etc., and I just kind of unlocked like pentatonic scale power chords and was kind of fell in love with it. So we did start young, like playing together. But we didn't form the band till we were 18.
All right. And then how did Gianni, did I get that right? Is it
Gianni.
How did he enter the band?
So Henry and I had formed the band. We played in like a local battle of the bands. And then...
Oh, wow. How'd you do?
We won.
Woo! All right.
So from that, I think we got an opportunity to play at the Crocodile. We opened at the Crocodile with like a lineup of like 5 bands, one of those bigger bills.
Yeah.
And Gianni was in a band called Laser Fox, which was like a synth pop kind of band.
Yeah.
And we saw him playing there, and Henry and I were a 2-piece at the time. Just kind of, I was really into like the White Stripes, as a teenager and stuff. So we were kind of doing that blues rock 2-piece thing.
Yeah.
But we were thinking about adding a bass player. I was getting into more like garage rock and other types of rock and roll. And so he was playing the bass and synth, and we liked his style. Like he seemed like a cool guy.
Yeah.
So we just asked him to jam with us, and then the rest is history there.
I've got a voice in my head.
That's cool. And after you guys formed, you're 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around then. What happened next? You didn't record an album until like 2018, so you had probably EPs or singles and things like that.
We released our first EP, which still to this day, it's funny. It was like gave us the most opportunity, like sync licensing and other, like made us money somehow. This first EP when we were like 19.
Oh, cool.
And we released that on a small label from New York, and then when we were 20, but we got the opportunity to tour with a local band, Dude York, and we went on a tour with them. We had a manager from playing Sound Off. We did the Sound Off Battle of the Bands, which was a big deal for us.
Okay. When you went on that first tour, what was that? Was it like throughout the Northwest, or was that U.S. or how?
I'm trying to remember how far we went. It was mostly West Coast, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was just like a West Coast tour. We went to Denver as well, but it was a blast. I mean, that was like, what I'd always dreamed of.
Oh, yeah.
It was super fun first tour. So it was awesome. The van broke down. Like we had, I was driving the van over Grants Pass of all places. And it broke down. Like just the first stretch of the tour, we played one show. So we had to stay in Roseburg. Anyway, so like that, just kind of those crazy stories started happening, which happened on the road. Just like felt like the kind of living I wanted to do at that age. So then it just kind of kept going from there. We got opportunities to tour with Car Seat Headrest was our second tour.
And that's like a full, that's all throughout Europe, or where else did you go?
So that first one was just a U.S. tour. This was just when we were opening for them. They also hadn't fully blown up at that point.
Yeah.
And so we did that tour, and we did a couple other tours after that with like Ron Gallo, and then we got on New West Records from those tours, and then we released our first record. And right after that, Will from Car Seat Headrest reached out about playing in their band and touring with them.
Yeah.
And so then we started doing that, and that was when there was like a 1.5 2-year stretch where we were pretty much on the road, not all the time, but like a couple week break, back on the road. And then each night we were opening and then playing in their band. So it was a lot of music.
And playing in their band. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so they hired us to play, all three of us to also be in their band for their live show.
Wow.
So they had a 7-piece lineup because they were a 4-piece. So they added the three of us. Henry was on percussion. I was playing kind of lead guitar and rhythm guitar and backing vocals. And Gianni did guitar and keyboard.
That's super cool.
So that was a lot. Like that was kind of where we maybe I cut my teeth professionally,
So you're playing your songs and their songs?
Yeah.
Wow. So you start, play a bunch of your songs, and then you're tired. The drummer's got to be exhausted, and now you're going to play another set.
Yeah, and like this, the set break is like what 15 minutes.
Oh my god!
So just enough time to kind of go.
Yeah.
Hang out for a minute. And,
okay.
But it was living the dream for me at the time because I was still like 22, 23 maybe when we were doing that. So I was young. I had energy. When you just start touring at like 20, and then that's your life, and you're only home for a few weeks, you can't really like get a job at home.
Yeah.
Get an apartment. So I was, staying with my dad and my stepmom, who are amazing.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have a lot of the balance in my life or like other skills to kind of cope with life. I wasn't building like a full life. I was just focused on music.
Yeah. And there's an intermission before you're back out and touring again, or doing something again, or recording and then touring again. Yeah. So I get that. Did you, during those times, like use music, other people's music or your own, to kind of like heal a bit during some challenges? Yeah,
I mean, for me, like music was my fuel. Like it was the only thing that I wanted to do, and it was like what got me through. Yeah. And songwriting in general was always, and playing live was always just like a catharsis for me in life. Like, and so I think I would definitely listening to music too. Like on the road, there was like listening to music in the van, like on the drive, was like kind of a healing time, like a centering time. And then making music to cope with the life of making music is kind of, like and making music about the road. Like a lot of musicians do that. You start touring a lot.
Yeah.
You write about that life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely utilized music to cope with that and heal.
Okay, so you've got a killer track on the first LP, Slough. It's Slow Dance 2. You're probably sick and tired of talking about it and playing and performing it. And you're so good on the guitar and also just as a lyricist on that too, and singer. But I'm curious, it has like on Spotify, you've got like 10 million downloads for that song. Like that's pretty epic. You're getting $1 for each one of those downloads, right?
Not at all.
Or $10 for each one, right?
Definitely not.
I wish, man. I wish it worked that way. But there's something that's resonating in that song for folks. And were you writing about your experience at that time?
It's so funny. When you look back in the past, it's hard to remember what you were writing about. At least for me, it's hard to remember where that was coming from. But I know personally at that time, like my life was kind of a mess, relationship wise, like romantically, and also touring didn't help. Like pretty disheveled, emotional life.
Yeah.
And so I think, I was dealing with like a long-term relationship that was pretty tumultuous.
Yeah.
And just disordered emotions. And so I think I put that into this kind of, I think when we wrote that song, we called it the 50s song for a while because it had this kind of doo-woppy thing. And it felt like an appropriate song for a bit of, maybe not crooning, but kind of just, lovesick catharsis. And that was true emotion there. And it goes back to childhood. Like I think that emotion expressed in that song was something I carried into a lot of the music that I made at that time.
No way. 'Cause I'm down on my knees and I'm tired of pleasing you. Never around when I call you. You're my love darling, but I still never even see you. But in my arms, my only gift, this is my only gift to you, baby.
Yeah, there's something you hear as a listener, you just hear the honesty in there. I mean, you hear like a killer song. It's just fun to experience. It's fun to watch you play it and hear it, but also you just hear the honesty in there. And I just wonder if like there's something about music. It can be happy music. It could be sad. It could be dance kind of thing too. But there's some at one point where it just really resonates. It becomes almost like an anthem, or it becomes cathartic, like you were saying, or there's a reason that I put some songs on repeat, and it's just like it's tapping into what I need right now.
Yeah.
But that song just does it. If you got 10 million downloads, it's doing something for people.
People are liking it. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you more about that as we go through other albums. But next, let's just talk about COVID.
Yeah.
And you guys you're a great band. You're doing, fun things, and you're traveling and doing all that. And then COVID happened. So right before COVID, South by Southwest, how many times do you guys do that?
We did it, I think, 3 times. And so there was a lot of momentum like from that. And then, we were on New West Records, and we had recorded our second album. So we were still like a new band in many ways, and building momentum. The car seat headrest tours were happening. We were playing big venues. It felt like we were starting to make a livable wage almost. And a lot of people think musicians at that level do better than they do. We really weren't. I mean, it's like there's 3 of us, we're splitting everything.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make a living. So I couldn't have done it like without being able to crash at my parents' house. There was just no way. It was tough.
Yeah.
So, but it felt like we were getting that momentum to have an actually sustainable career and achieve more success. And then, COVID hit. We were about to do South by for the 4th time, I think.
Yeah.
And that got canceled. We had recorded our second album, The Shadow, that was to come out. And it still came out, but then COVID hit, so we couldn't tour for that record.
Oh, okay.
So it really cut the momentum short. And then, I was seeing someone at the time and ended up, living with her basically at her parents' house. And and it was just a weird, everyone I think was like kind of going into whatever comfort and situation they could find isolating.
Yeah.
And so that was where I was, and all of the momentum, including like the partying and everything I was doing, kind of had to change. So instead of going out and partying and playing rock music, I was just at home. And so
it was an uncertain time. Did you think this is the end? Like it's the end of the band? Not the end like of your life, but the end of the band?
I think at that time it was kind of, I didn't have much else going on for me. I hadn't graduated from college, and I didn't have actually I was a music teacher, so I had that going. And so I kept teaching music lessons during COVID on Zoom.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that gave me like some inspiration and was valuable to me. It was like teaching kids and adults music.
Yeah.
So I kept doing that, but also I think in many ways it was an empty time. I did feel concerned about the future of the band, but it was all I had in another respect. Like, being a music teacher wasn't my passion, and so I held on to it. Like I didn't let it go or think very, very pragmatically. So it was definitely a tough time though, for sure.
How did that affect the songwriting? Were you like, okay, we're going to take a little sabbatical on songwriting, or did it manifest itself in some music?
It did manifest itself in some music. I think it was very separate for each of us. We started writing more independently, but we still would practice like when we could. But it took us a while after that. And then our label dropped us in that time, New West Records, because they'd like gotten a bunch of rock bands, and I think it wasn't working out. And our second record didn't do as well as we thought it would. And so it was, then we were really kind of floating a little bit. So it took a while after that to kind of get our stuff together.
So those are super heavy blows. You can't tour. It's hard to practice. Like, I don't know if we could practice together at a certain time. Your record label says, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Like that, those are dark periods. What kind of songs came out of that?
I mean, it's a mix. Like, I think for each of us, because we're each songwriters.
Yeah.
We were writing about different things. Like Henry was, Henry ended up getting married. And so he had like some really positive things happening. And for me, I was like, I began to contend with my substance abuse and get sober. And so like there was a lot of hardship and then growth happening.
Yeah.
So that whole period for me was like kind of addressing the rock and roll dream that I'd had and all this touring, and then the kind of slightly devastating blow of having it kind of crash down. And then also maybe my discovery that whole dream wasn't really what I wanted, or that it wasn't in my best interest to keep this one track mind on being like a rock and roll guy and touring all the time, and that maybe life could be a little fuller, and focusing on like my health, mental health, physical health, and emotional health could bring me something else. And also then my songwriting, I think, became more honest, self-searching, and so then my songwriting really shifted in that period.
The band was able to stay together. Did you guys ever have a conversation like, well, maybe we're not going to do this? Or did you all, Henry gets married, you're looking at it like it's not maybe the future that I'm always going to move toward? I'm not sure where Gianni was on that process as well. Did you contemplate like let's just go separate paths?
I mean, I think we didn't really talk about it very directly. I think for each of us in separate ways, like we expressed our, maybe not dissatisfaction, but like whatever we were dealing with affected the band. And we could tell, like there was a time when I was, really checked out during COVID and hadn't addressed my substance abuse issues and was kind of, acting like an asshole at practice and not care, just, I don't care. And we'd have to address that, and so, and then similarly with Henry or Gianni, they'd be kind of checked out or go in a different direction.
Yeah.
And then we'd regroup and kind of be like, hey, are we still all in?
Yeah.
And that's kind of continued to some extent, to be honest, because it's been a long time now. But we did regroup to do our third record. And, I think we all had this agreement that like we were still going to put the band, maybe not first anymore, but that we were all dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And we stuck by that for sure.
All right. Well, there's a lot to ask about that time period, but I do want to talk about the third LP, Shine Away, and that transition that you're talking about from ways you were writing songs before and how you were writing songs during that record or for that record. So Shine Away, personally for me, I love your catalog, but that's the record for me, man. It's like, wow, it's getting more emotive. Like I can just listen to Shine Away, that single song a bunch of times back on repeat. It seems like there's I don't know, being able to be a little bit more bearing your soul.
Yeah.
Is that true? Are you guys like, okay, we don't have to just party and dance all the time. We're okay if we want to, expose some weaknesses or expose some areas that are kept private otherwise?
For sure. I think that like all that stuff we just talked about COVID and change and like growing up, I think my brain just developed at 25 during COVID and just like something snapped and I was like, what have I been doing?
Yeah.
And so along with all that change became like more earnest songwriting, a little bit less fear about being authentic, a little less desire to like have to impress people or keep people interested with this like bombastic rock sound that was kind of like a little bit, I don't want to say it was sadistic, but like a little bit like there was this energy being as young as we were, like we're gonna play this music, we don't care, like that kind of flippant, but we're also irreverent and goofy, and so I think like changed to being a little more earnest and a little less afraid of emotional songwriting.
Yeah, I think there's space for all of it, in if you're a painter or you're a poet or whatever, for the range of emotions. I just noticed that there was a little bit more depth than I was anticipating. I was like, I love it. I'm so happy it's there. But when I go to your concerts, it's everybody's dancing the whole time. Yeah, and it's a fun show still.
Well, and I think maybe that's one of the reasons that record really hasn't done anything. Like, not that it's done nothing, but like, bands make shifts, they change their sound. Yeah. And for us, like, that record hasn't done what we'd hoped it would. Yeah. But I think from an artist perspective, it's not as important. Like we had to do it, we had to make it. And for me, it's like, it's my favorite record we've done. And also it marked a change for me where I've just made a solo record that's not released yet, but
Okay.
it's like we all have our individual projects now.
Yeah.
And so I took that same energy of songwriting and took it further into that like emotional direction and
Awesome.
like a different sound.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been where a lot of my creative energy has gone for the past 2 years, making that record.
That's fantastic. I'm excited to hear it. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about the songs that help you through some hard times, and any song that you might want to share about from the writing that you've done that like, helped you go through. So do you listen to music that others write that touches you when you're depressed, down, feeling like I can't get through this?
Definitely. I think like over the years, it's been many different things. Like I went through a particularly difficult time when I was a teenager, when I was just picking up guitar.
Yeah.
Where, my mom was sick with cancer and she ended up passing away, and I was
Sorry. Jeez.
So thank you. It was a tough, like there was a bunch of crazy stuff.
How
during
old were you
that
then?
period. 14.
Oh my God.
So this was this whole like where music, like to the point of your, what you're trying to do here with your podcast, like my falling in love with music coincided with like a really difficult time where I didn't have much to connect with and was kind of trying to escape. And music offered me both an escape, but also like an escape with something meaningful.
Yeah.
Like something I could connect with universally with other people and
Yeah.
know that other people were feeling similar things and not feel alone.
Yeah.
And then rock and roll. This is what I've always loved about rock and roll. It's like the spirit. I've said this before. It's like the spirit of rock and roll is like continuing on in spite of it all. Like when I hear a great rock song, it gives me that energy of like, it's worth it to continue onward.
That's awesome.
And so that's like why I fell in love with rock and roll. And then like more recently, maybe the past 6 years, Neil Young became my favorite artist.
Wow.
And that helped me shift into more earnest and like a holistic songwriting approach that's less like genre focused
Yeah.
and more about the song. And then like music inspires me all the time. I think like my mind's really open where week to week I might find a new song that inspires me. Like this past week, this song, what's it called? By Jillian Welch, Miss Ohio. It's been my song of the week.
Awesome.
It just gets me. It's like, it's a certain lyric, it's a certain sound. So lyrics have become a lot more important to me in that respect too.
Yeah,
It used to be about the sound and the feeling. And now like a really great lyric that I connect to is really impactful for me.
If you really had to choose, would you choose me too? You said you'd never forget. Time that's too bad. I know it's true.
That's great. That's really cool to hear. Your movement toward a song that just like helps you cope, helps you get through it. So, is there a particular song that you wrote with Naked Giants that you were coping with something, and it's like you're trying to maybe heal yourself a little bit?
With Naked Giants, I mean, there's a few examples. I think with that band, like a pretty intense example is that song Green Fuzz, which is like her 10-minute song.
Yeah.
we extend live to be like 15 minutes.
Got a habit, I can't sleep straight. I'm an addict.
And I think, I mean, that's a weird song. I got a lot of flack from even my bandmates or other people about the lyrics because I was really taking on a role, like kind of playing different characters in the song that were maybe, you know, sadomasochistic or like, I wouldn't say evil, but like dealing with some pretty heavy, like maladjusted experiences that I've had in my own life growing up and seen in the world around me, and putting them into this song that it's maybe an uncomfortable song if you really listen to it. Like I think I was trying to kind of, in a way, bring up something that I didn't know how to talk about. Which was kind of, you know, could be abusive or like emotionally pretty toxic. And put that into a song so that I could get that out. And then I've had a lot of questions about like how that, you know, the purpose of that. Like, is that putting good into the world, or you know, is that helping anybody with a song like that, or is it a toxic song? You know, is it? And so for me, it was really helpful, and I think people like that song, so that's cool.
It's a great song.
And maybe people just like the music, but you know, I guess it's my hope that some people may like I have, feel, even if it's an uncomfortable song to hear, it's addressing something that people experience that isn't maybe talked about as much in that way. So that's one song that I think I used to cope with some things I didn't know how to talk about.
Well, I think it takes an incredible courage to just bare your soul a little bit and talk about things that you're experiencing and things that you're working through. Lots of artists that I have enjoyed over the years, they're just doing that, and it's like, okay, it's sometimes hard to listen to. It could just be in the way they perform too. Like there's some anger, there's aggression, there's whatever, and you can see that or hear it. But I'm super thankful for it because we have, as listeners, that same range of emotion. You know, we have that same, we want to connect in that same way. So when I go to see Naked Giants, there's that range there of, you know, it's exciting, it's fun, you're gonna dance, but there's also another layer that's in there, another level. My hope is that bands like yours continue to like stretch into that space and just know that there's a world out there that is benefiting from it, as hard as it might be sometimes to put it out there. But I'm thankful that you do that. So today I just was going to ask, you know, what song would you be open to playing for us? And it doesn't even have to be, oh, this is the saddest song I wrote. It's just like, you know, is there a piece of music that you think has helped you get through something that was difficult?
Yeah, I was thinking about a few ideas for this, and I have two options, but I think I'll play one off my solo record that's not out yet. But I think it'll be the first track on there, and I'm still considering the title, but basically this song is like, as you'll hear, kind of an exploration for me of the journey of like addiction, which I've dealt with. And then in this song in particular, it doesn't really go into the actual recovery. It's kind of an exploration of what just like an experience of that people who struggle with like addiction and recovery are familiar with. And I think I was thinking about the lows that you go to mentally and emotionally, and kind of giving a real description of what that experience is like, without adding some hopeful thing on the end. To just like express that. And what I see on the street all the time too, with like how much in our society, like how prominent addiction is, and what people deal with when we just walk past them, and
like they don't exist.
So what's really going on? So
right before you perform that, I just want to say that, you're from Seattle. I'm from Seattle. Listeners who aren't local don't know what it's like to be here during we have 4 seasons, but one lasts 9 months, and that's that winter, dark rain, and putting that layer of where we live onto your songwriting. People get indoors and it's raining outside and it's dark. It's dark at 4:30, in the wintertime here. Is that part of your songs? It's like, now it's time to just go inside and sit down with a blanket and do some heavy songwriting.
I think so. I mean, I think, like, you look back at, and I hear people talk about this, like the Seattle music, is that a part of it? I think definitely. I think like, as Seattle artists, like, when it gets to be wintertime, what else are you going to do but like want to go into your practice space and write some music? And of course that music's going to be influenced by the dark and like the nature we have around here, which is like so beautiful, but also like so beautiful and green, but at the same time, when it's dark, it's kind of like ominous and like lonesome, there's kind of like a feeling here that I think does make its way into the music.
Yeah. And then that overlaps with like substance abuse too. Like it's hard to get through this period, it's hard to get, are we going to make it to spring?
Right. It's not summery music all year. We're not writing, it's not Jimmy Buffett, Florida. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I know, but
that's interesting. Yeah. It wouldn't fit. That just wouldn't fit here at during that time. All right. Well, Grant, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Your past. And I'm going to step away.
Right on.
Will you take over?
All right. All good to go?
Looking back for something I can lean on, holding my own. The thought that this was freedom. Fell in love with my own reflection. Lost in the chrome, trying to forget him. Yeah. But I can still remember who I was before. And if I die Pray I won't be high. On my way to heaven, high. On my way to heaven, yeah. And I wake up, only lies behind me. Lost and alone, nothing to remind me, yeah. But I can still remember when I first fell in your lap. So if I die, I was on my way to heaven. I was on my way to heaven, yeah. On my way to heaven, high. On my way to heaven, yeah. And now I can't remember who I was before. So when I die, that's it.